Time to take on a Greater Lansing Local near the Don Johnson Fieldhouse. Historic Don Johnson Fieldhouse. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few individuals who were standouts in that building. First off, my co-host Teddy Terzian, Luton School, Dwight Ridge, Section High School, Lansing Bred through and through. Co-host Gary Snellenberger. We're talking about homes. We're talking about Fairview. We're talking Pattengill, Foster School, Pattengill, Eastern. Lansing Schools, cool, right? I mean, did you have a good experience growing up, guys?
Very good. Great experience.
Solid? Yeah.
Solid. Very cool.
We love Greater Lansing. And we're going to talk about a historic element of the Don Johnson Fieldhouse where these three individuals, these standout individuals on the end, we're going to talk about their experiences. First off, let's go with the elder guy in the middle. He's Dale Beard, 1978 graduate, Everett High School, state champion his junior year with Urban Magic Johnson, Larry Hunter and that crew. And you played that Fieldhouse that first game when they renovated that Fieldhouse.
Amazing.
What was that experience like?
Amazing, man, amazing. You know, I think that back then when we were playing, it was the first time I think that high school ball, not just in Lansing, but in the state, was really that amazing.
Lansing, that was the spot.
Yeah, it was the spot.
And think about your senior year, Dale. The year after, you want to say, you guys got the semifinals, taking on Craig Tucker, that on that Flint Northern team, and he went on and played at Illinois, and that was George Fox, the Hall of Fame George Fox was your coach. Did a great job on that effort. So you were terrific.
It was great. It was great. And I think playing with a guy like Urban, our reserve guys were so used to getting in games, beating teams by so many points that they got a lot of playing time.
Yeah.
So it translated to our senior year where we went back to the semifinals, like you mentioned, and lost to a great team, Flint Northern with Craig Tucker.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 years after 1977 came this two dudes. Double trouble. Now, who's trouble and who's double?
Double.
Trouble. We're talking about the Lynch brothers, Jim and Jeff Lynch, on the 1980 state championship. Lansing Eastern Quakers of Hall of Fame coach Paul Cook. They beat Hamtramck, I believe it was, or not Hamtramck, but Highland Park. Highland Park in the title game, like 64-53. The Polar Bears of Highland Park. And Jeff, talk about, okay, you were number 20 and 21.
Oh, yes.
And you were 42 and 43?
Correct.
Okay, what is the crazy thing about our numbers, where your home number, why do we have two numbers?
I never knew that.
Home and away.
It went away.
Well,
Talk about, if you would, Jeff, what that experience like, winning that state championship down at the house that Cassie built, Price Ran.
Beautiful. Well, all these things that you do are lifelong experiences.
Yeah.
And that was a big experience in our life, and we had a great player too in Sam Vincent.
Yeah.
And to help us along the way, and it just, I think sometimes when you have great teams, the team gels.
Yeah.
And I think our team gelled, and at the right time, and it was a great experience.
Yeah. Okay, Jim.
Coach Cook was a great
absolutely.
manager of talent.
Yeah.
He
talent, sheer talent, raw talent, right? He's a Lynch brothers, right?
I mean, and he just knew how to put everybody in and just guide us to what we did.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. As I was thinking about it back then, it was just 10th, 11th, and 12th. We were 75-2.
Wow.
We lost once to Flint Central. We
Eric
lost
Turner.
once.
Yeah.
Eric Turner. We lost once to Okemos in our own Christmas tournament.
Yeah.
Fossum and Witherall.
Hello, Bobby Foss. I know he's watching.
He just did a great.
Yeah.
That was the 2 times we lost.
Yeah.
So it was just awesome.
So I got to ask you guys. You two Lynch brothers are so nice to each other. What was it like growing? Did you always get any of that backcourt that your dad built? I mean, you were always kind to each other? How did that work out?
Is this censored?
No, I don't know. I want the raw version.
That's probably where we learned to play basketball.
Against each other?
Each other. And it's whether we had to do a chore or not, we'd go out and we'd play, up to 5-by-1s, and whoever lost had to do the chore. And not to say there wasn't fighting involved, because there was.
Involved?
Yes, a few
Punches
times.
thrown?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. But it was a great. It was great. It was it was a good experience.
Okay, Jimmy, your version of that?
He's spot on. Well, he was a linebacker. I was a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So he got me once with a good one.
College football
After
at
that,
Grand Valley
I
State.
tell you what, though, those are the things that we had to do on our team. That's what we were there to
play. I mean,
Yeah.
because we were there to screen and rebound. That was,
Yeah.
we weren't there to shoot.
Yeah.
We were there to screen. And you know what, Coach Cook, like I said, I always go back. He had a game plan for everything. I always appreciated that.
Yeah, but yeah. When we're going to talk to he's busy right now, but Sam Vincent, pretty good, decent role player on your team, maybe.
Great. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
It's funny, Tom.
Real good
During
role player.
practice, I would always cover Sam,
Wow, how'd that go?
or Jeff would cover him, just because you know that he was going to get covered tight
Yeah.
in the game. So we did that, and then we went ones against twos. But most of the times we covered him.
Yeah, Sam's at a clinic right now. Dave, we're going to talk to him a little bit later. Okay, Dale Beard. Okay, where'd you cut your teeth on the playground? Was it Main Street School?
Main Street School.
With Irving?
With Urban.
What were those?
Those days were,
situations?
oh man, they were great because we always had kids that are players that came from the other side of town, south side, north side, east side.
That was a neat spot.
Yeah,
Like
so
St. Cecilia's gym of Greater Lansing.
Yeah, that's not the same, but it's just outside, you know.
Yeah, outdoors. Yes.
But no, those were some great times, man. You know, we had great players like Arvis Rose that played at Sexton, and would come over, David Porter. You know, those guys, man, would come over and we just have great games. And the park would be packed. You know, just people from the neighborhood coming over and watch us, and those were some great years back then too.
Yeah. We always go back to the old days.
We talked about Main Street. We had Walsh Park.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we got all these Lansing school district products, right, including myself, which I'm very proud of. I mean, all these guys were athletes in high school. We were all athletes in high school. Some better than obviously me. I was probably the worst of all these guys. But I'm telling you what. I mean, this was a coach in the Lansing Sexton, Mike Major. I mean, coach. And Garrett, you've been so involved with Lansing Eastern. You're a PA announcer at all the basketball games. I mean, Gary, tell me about your passion for Lansing Eastern when you go back and do those games. Does it just take you back to the Cracker Box days and and all that stuff?
Well, those were the days, man.
Yeah.
That's when basketball was real in the city.
It
I
was.
remember 5th grade playing at Eastern in the old Cracker Box.
Oh, the Quaker League.
Draining a 3 at the
Yeah.
buzzer from the popcorn machine.
Yeah.
That was my
Okay,
highlight.
but hold it. We
That
had
was
no
my
3
highlight.
balls back in 1968, okay? No 3 balls.
There wasn't a 3 ball, but it was in the deep corner.
That was the old ABA had 3 balls, and that was it. Okay.
It wasn't red, white, and blue. But yeah, it was.
Fairview
You know,
Falcons,
Lansing
Foster
schools.
Bulldogs. We were
It's
at
just
it.
where it's at in athletics. It was then, it still is. You know, we still got some state championship teams and athletes in Lansing. It's just a great place.
Yeah.
And going back to the animosity between Jim and Jeff, you know, we saw just a little bit of that when we were coming out here.
did.
Jim
It
got
never
Jeff's
goes
coat.
away.
Jim got Jeff's coat for him, but had to hear about it, and Jim didn't even hold it open for him to stick his arms in.
You're great there.
That's
all good.
Thanks for the sex big right outstanding football player, and then you coach with Mike Major. Okay, so you coach high school basketball, and you know when you're still a single guy, right?
Yeah, when I was still a single guy,
Yeah,
had
so
some unbelievable
what was that
games
like?
there. I mean, you know, we had T. Cleaves in there, and just great games. But you know, personally, had great experiences at the field house. But watching these guys, that Everett game, I remember going to that game
4,400 people.
as a fan. And going, and they had the platforms over the the side there, and looking and seeing all the Michigan State players. I remember Terry Furlow and those guys on top of that platform. The place was so packed. And then a few years later, watching these guys and Sam, there was nothing better than Eastern Fieldhouse. I love that place.
I know.
You know, I know it's not
Eastern, I mean,
Sexton, but I feel like it is because it's the city. You know, and I want that thing to continue because I love watching games. It's not a better venue to watch games.
No. How about going to the quarterfinals of the Class A? You know, like on a Tuesday night before this. I mean, that's what we all did. You know, in that field house, and I hope that.
No doubt about it.
I hope that's maintained, and you know, I know there's some situations now that that's in the school district's hands or something like that, and we hope that Eastern identity maintains in the field house. Don't you think, Jimmy?
I'm going to work to do that. Make sure that.
I know you are.
So I think that and everybody knows that's like, even though we moved to school
across the street.
moved to school. we don't have a wrestling room over there, so
Yeah.
we got to go over there. You know, still we have big games. You can't have a big game, so
Yeah.
any city game that's a big game should be played there.
Yeah.
You know, and so those are the things that we need to continue.
Yeah.
Because like Ted was saying, it's a great venue.
It is.
It's just, and it's like Dale and Jeff. It's great to play on the floor with a bunch of people in these days too.
Yeah.
So it's really trying.
But we're all together. I mean, we got Eastern, we got Ever, we got Eastern, we got Sexton, we got. We're all family right now, and we're all about Lansing. We're all about the Lansing Public Schools, and we're all about the historic element of the Don Johnson Fieldhouse. Many great memories there for these guys, and hey, until next time on another Tom's Take Greater Lansing, be safe.